In this video we will be diving deeper into the many characters of GTA 5. We are going to go through the hidden and unhidden lore of these characters. Who are they and what they did before the events of the game. Starting off with Brad Snyder. Brad Snyder was in the original heist crew during the prologue, but he was shot and killed by Dave Norton because Michael sold them all out. Brad was taken into the crew by Trevor because Trevor began seeing Michael as soft, so he decided to bring Brad into the crew. Brad was disliked by both Michael and Lester, who distrusted him. Trevor thought highly of Brad and favored him over Michael during the last years of the partnership. Brad is believed to be Tracy's real dad, as he looks a lot like her. It's also revealed that Amanda liked one of Michael's friends back in the days, which suggests that it was Brad she was referring to.
I liked your friend.
Trevor?
No, the other guy. But then you came on so strong.
This would make a lot more sense in the context of the GTA 5 story, as Brad being Tracy's dad would also explain why Michael disliked him so much. After Brad's death, Trevor still believed that Brad was alive, as the FIB sent him letters from prison pretending to be Brad.
We'll send another letter. It's about time anyway.
Oh, so that's you who's been sending those letters to Trevor, huh?
Yeah. He thinks they're from Brad.
But in reality, Brad was laying 6 feet underground in a coffin, and when Trevor finds out about this, he doesn't take it so well. Mrs. Phillips is the mother of Trevor Phillips. It's also revealed that she had a son named Ryan Phillips who died in a tragic accident before the events of GTA 5.
You remind me of my brother, Ryan.
Mrs. Phillips was both abusive and neglectful towards Trevor, rarely giving him any support and emotionally abusing him. She was a prostitute when Trevor was younger, as Trevor mentioned it during a private dance.
My mother was a stripper once.
Mrs. Phillips was sentenced to prison, which was probably related to drugs, as she appears to be a diludamol addict. Diludamol is a type of painkiller drug often used in the state of San Andreas. Ron Jakowski is a friend and business partner of Trevor Phillips, and he also hosts a podcast in the Blaine County Radio, which is a public talk radio station operating from Blaine County. Ron was born in the Midwest and previously worked as an accountant. He was happily married for 12 years before he met Trevor. Trevor convinced him that his wife was only holding him back in life and scared her away when he threatened to cut her arms off. Ron was kicked out by his wife and they divorced, with Ron deep in debt because he had to pay settlement fees to her. He ended up becoming Trevor's best friend and moved into a trailer next door to him in Sandy Shores. He has an obsession with conspiracy theories, which he talks about in his podcast. Salomon Richards is a successful Vinewood film producer and the owner of Richards Majestic Productions, a film company he inherited from his father, David Richards, in 1978. Solomon began his career as an associate producer on his father's movies, though he later began to produce his own and eventually gained fame during the late 1970s. He had complicated work relationship with one of his father's lead actors, Leonora Johnson, because she considered him as a hack and refused to complete work on a film Solomon was producing due to artistic differences. This great dislike for Leonora eventually made Solomon one of the lead suspects for her murder, which in reality had been committed by Peter Drafus, but he was never charged due to lack of evidence.
Do you know her?
Security?
What's her name?
Security, this guy's trying to rape me.
Leonora Johnson.
It's not what you think.
The one who pants you over after you killed her just because you could.
How much you want? How much money you want?
Peter Drafus was a director in the 1970s who left the film industry after his movie Last Will and A Testament was a failure at the box office. The audience and critical reaction to the movie left Drafus in rage, and he swore never to work again. During his absence from cinema, his films began to gain a cult following, and he became pretty popular. However, his image was not completely clean, as many women who worked with Drafus over the years had accused him of sexual harassment. In 1975, Drafus tortured and killed Leonora Johnson. After this, he wrote a confession letter to David Richards stating that he had to kill her He later sent her family pieces of her body, as he believed it was for artistic purposes. He claimed that the murder hurt him more, and that making Leonora and her family suffer would give him an artistic inspiration, though his words and actions hardly showed any remorse, nor hurt. Richards tore up the leather and scattered the pieces across Los Santos and Blaine County. Wade Herbert is a friend of Trevor and Ron Jakowski, as well as a cousin of Floyd and Dax. Wade met Trevor in 2012 when he was on his way to buy drugs. He lost his friends who were supposed to meet up with the local dealer, Trevor Phillips. Wade thought that his friends abandoned him, but it's most likely that Trevor killed them. Trevor then searched up Wade and they became friends for life. They became such good friends that Trevor once even put a hockey stick in Wade's ass. But that's a pretty normal thing when it comes to being friends with Trevor. Amanda DeSanta is probably one of GRA's most annoying characters. In the early 90s, Amanda was working as a stripper, alongside her sisters in a strip club. At one point while working, she met Michael and they began dating. Michael bought her a new pair of breasts as an investment so she could make more money as a stripper. Eventually they would end up getting married and having 2 children together, Jimmy and Tracy, and they moved into a trailer in the Midwest. In the summer of 2012, Amanda rented out their house to corn producers without Michael knowing.
They're shooting here.
They shoot all over town. Mom rented our house to them last summer.
That was our house?
Yeah.
Man, you got a killer pad, Mr.
Fabian LaRouche is Amanda DeSanta's private yoga instructor. Due to Fabian's sexually oriented methods, her husband Michael often shows annoyance towards Fabian. But Amanda claims Fabian is just a close friend. Michael had his reasons to hate Fabian, as she would later leave him to move into his house. As stated on his website, Fabian grew up in a small town in France. Later in 1990, he moved to San Fierro, where he knew he'd fit in. However, he was charged with crimes that were never proven, so he ended up moving to Los Santos. Fabian suffered through personal crisis and poor decisions, which he managed to save himself by doing yoga. In 2002, Floyd Herbert is the cousin of Wade Herbert. Compared to his cousin, Floyd tried to do good for himself and live an uneventful life, having only stolen a pencil while in elementary school, which he regretted ever since.
We're looking for something to steal.
Sir, I stole a pencil in elementary school and I've been regretting it ever since.
Floyd always was a stick in the mud.
In 2003, he began working as a unionized longshoreman at Pier 400 at the port of Los Santos. In 2013, he began dating Deborah and moved into her apartment in Vespucci Beach, but she would later cheat on him with a man named Bob while on a business trip.
You're crap, Floyd! Crap! You're not a man at all. Bob's right about you.
Oh, who's Bob?
Deborah is Floyd's fiancée. She's a lawyer, but she also might have been working at the Puerto del Sol Yacht Club in Los Santos, which would explain her frequent traveling. Deborah worked in the club until 2013, according to her Bleater account. Pretty much nothing is known about this club, except that the boss of the Kung Pai being a member of the club. Isaiah Friedlander is a famous therapist and media celebrity who also owns a pharmaceutical company. Growing up, Friedlander was bullied, with girls calling him Pubehead due to his curly hair. According to his website, Friedlander received a bachelor's degree in marketing from the University of Los Santos. He also traveled frequently in Asia and received a doctorate degree in psychology from an unknown, defunct learning institution. Throughout his years as a therapist, he treated both celebrities and criminals. In the 1980s, Friedlander helped expose the culture of narcissism in the ganglands of San Andreas. Almost a decade after starting his radio program, Friedlander decided to get in the drug game himself and established the Friedmind Pharmaceutical Corporation. Lazlow Jones is a radio host with a media career of more than 30 years, working in Liberty City before moving to Los Santos. During the early events of GRA 4, Lazlow makes a brief appearance on Weasel News, where he explains that he wants to innovate the radio business and media in general.
Nobody does live radio anymore. Nobody apart from me.
Lazlow's criminal record has also been leaked. showing that he has been convicted of stalking and forcible touching. He was also once arrested for public urination at a Liberty Swingers game in 2002. Tanisha Clinton is Franklin's ex-girlfriend. She grew up in South Los Santos together with Franklin and Lamar. She also attended the same high school as them. Because of Franklin's gang lifestyle and the recent death of her brother, Franklin and Tanisha separated. Over the course of the story, Franklin writes with Tanisha via email and phone calls, attempting to win her back, but she instead found a new man, a doctor named Jaden, who seems to be a brain surgeon, according to Lamar.
Maybe Tanisha will call your dog ass if she ever stop fucking with that brain surgeon, the lawyer she fucking with.
Simeon Yetarian is an Armenian car dealer. He owns a car dealership business. However, the business is crooked. He sells cars to people who cannot afford them and then repossesses them via shady finance schemes. He has learned to use his ethnicity to his advantage, as he will call them racist if they doesn't buy the car.
Financing it seems like a shitty deal.
Because of the color of my skin, you think I am a scammer.
No, skin color's got nothing to do with it.
It's also revealed that Simeon has a nephew named Sasha Yetarian, who worked in the mechanic in the arena wars. He also had some sort of friendship with El Rubio, as he has a picture of Simeon in his compound. Cletus Ewing is a character appearing in Trevor's Strangers and Freaks missions. Cletus is a stereotypical hillbilly living in Sandy Shores. He's a military veteran, as he can be seen wearing dog tags around his neck. Cletus helps Trevor learn how to hunt animals and becomes one of the few people Trevor actually likes. Outside of hunting, Cletus loved the Vice City band Love Fist, as suggested on his Life Evader profile. Barry is a middle-aged weed legalization advocate who is trying to get citizens of Los Santos behind his campaign. He apparently grows his own weed, carrying joints with him, so he can get the people to change their minds by legalizing the drug. He pretty much always has red eyes because of the constant use of it.
Man, what else are you taking? Man, this shit is garbage.
Chef is an associate of Trevor Phillips and an employee of Trevor Phillips Enterprise. He is the head manufacturer of the business. He only goes by the name of Chef, as his real name is never revealed. Chef met Trevor at some point in between the Ludendorff heist and 2013. Chef says that in his job interview, he needed to rob a cash for Gold Guy, who was in Sandy Shores, earning $50,000 from the score.
Chef, will you tell these gentlemen about your first job?
Man, you could just as easily.
You tell them. I'll do a sanity check.
Trevor, the ultimate judge of sanity.
Well, it was part of the interview process, I guess is how you call it. Trevor knew I could cook, wanted to see if I could handle myself. This cash for Gold Guy comes through town. Stood to reason he had funds. Next thing, we're burying him and his bodyguard in the junkyard. Well, most of them anyhow.
$50K. He did fine. He's better at all aspects of the job now.
Beverly is a narcissistic paparazzi and photographer obsessed with celebrities. He has a love-hate relationship with them. He obsesses over very small details about their lives and feels that everyone should know everything there is to know about all celebrities. On his Life Evader page, there is a comment from his father that reveals that he and his mother are not very proud of their son's profession. Beverly first meets Franklin when he mistakes Franklin for the rapper Clay Jackson. After realizing Franklin isn't a celebrity, Beverly offers Franklin employment as his assistant, taking photos of celebrities during the craziest moments that you could imagine. Madison Fox is a paparazzi photographer competing with Beverly Felton and posts taunts on Beverly's Life Evader wall. Madison is only seen on the back of a motorcycle with his associate chasing Miranda Cowan, who is taking drugs inside her limousine. Beverly knocks Madison off his bike with Franklin's help, taking the best photos of the celebrity. Miranda Cowan is a celebrity in G-Ray 5 and in the Ballad of Gay Tony. Cowan is also known as the Silicone Slapper due to her plastic surgery.
Man, they don't call her the Silicone Slapper for nothing.
Miranda's only appearance in the Ballad of Gay Tony was in one of the trailers for the game. The trailer is a report from the show Fizz, in which they describe the nightlife of Liberty City. She appears as one of the many celebrities that visit the Bahama Mamas nightclub.
Bahama Mama's nightclub also sees its share of A to Z listers. Celebrities such as Tony McTony and Miranda Cowan have made appearances at this club.
Jimmy Boston is an actor and celebrity appearing in both G-Ray 5 and the Ballad of Gay Tony. In GTA 5, Jimmy Boston is heard on the talk show Stratosphere in an interview with Lazlow. At the end of the interview, Boston says goodbye and then yells Kiflam, revealing he's a member of the Epsilon program.
Glad you love the show. Peace. Kiflam.
Oh, not another one. These Epsilon guys are taking over.
Marnie Allen is a high-up member of the Epsilon program. Marnie was born in 1987 and raised somewhere in the Midwest, where she was a cheerleader. She moved to Liberty City to become an actress in 2005 and was immediately conned into starting an internet profile by Joseph Kaplan. She also claims that Kaplan was the one to get her hooked on drugs. She was arrested in 2006 for petty theft and prostitution back when she worked for a pimp in Liberty City. According to her Bleeder account, part of her duties in the Epsilon program is to sleep with gay movie stars to convince them they're straight. Chris Formage is the founder and leader of the Epsilon program, a cult based in Grand Cayman. Formage and the Epsilon program are mentioned on the radio in GTA 5, where it is said that a court ruled that Chris and his program are no longer recognized as a religion by the United States and can no longer avoid taxes. Chris is then mentioned to be crying on the steps of the courthouse after the hearing. Tanya Wiggins is an old friend of Franklin. They grew up together on Forum Drive and went to Davis High School together. As she has a certificate in cosmetology, Tanya works as a sex worker outside of the liquor store, on the opposite side of Franklin and Denise's house. Denise mentions on her Life Evader page that she hates living across the street from a liquor store because whenever she looks out the window, she always sees Tanya hanging out in front of it. Tanya and her husband each have a drug habit that causes them to neglect their towing service business. Joe was one of the members of the Civil Border Patrol who, alongside his best friend Joseph, a Russian immigrant obsessed with America, hunt down illegal immigrants in order to report them back to their home countries. However, most of the time, the illegals they pursue are normal US citizens, mainly Hispanics. In the mission An America Welcome, he reveals that he actually works as a park ranger and that he only pursues illegal immigrants in his spare time.
How'd you get your hands on this patrol car?
I'm a proud park ranger, my friend, a trained security professional enjoying his time off.
It is likely that Joe was fired as a park ranger due to his illegal activities, and as a result, Joe and Joseph had their park ranger and tasers confiscated. It's also revealed that Joe has a brother who has 3 children and used to be gay until their parents set him straight.
My brother showed some, well, let's just call it sexual weakness in his younger days. But now he's a happily married man with 3 children and he rarely acts out.
Manuel is a Mexican man and a victim of the Border Patrol. He was wrongly accused of being an illegal immigrant. Manuel's family lived in the United States for over 200 years.
When are they kicking you out?
They can't kick me out, stupid man.
Why not?
My family has been here 200 years. I'm more American than you.
But the Border Patrol just threw away his legal citizenship papers for no good reason.
I have my papers right here. Oh, yeah? Well, let me see that.
Oops! Из рук выскочили.
You won't get away with this. I'll report you.
Don Beasley works as a hedge fund manager, but in his free time, he likes to go skydiving and do dangerous stuff. He has a daughter with a woman named Karen Lichty, who posts on his Life Evader page in an attempt to track him down, as it seems like he hasn't even met his daughter. Dom is constantly seen engaging in high-risk activities, such as skydiving and racing with dirt bikes. He even took his passion for skydiving so far that it resulted in his own death. Denise is Franklin's material aunt. She and Franklin live in a house in Strawberry, but the two have a tense and occasionally volatile relationship. She identifies herself as a new age feminist and holds feminist group meetings at the house.
Magenta is reinvigorating my femininity, so make yourself scarce, boy. Go. Go.
With pleasure.
Go.
Franklin can't get back into his old house despite him being the owner. This is because Denise won't let him in because of Trevor telling her and her family's friends to shut up.
We are women. We are free. We are
Shut the f*** up!
Stretch, also known as Harold Joseph, is one of the family's OGs. He was born in Los Santos and joined the Chamberlain gangsters' families at a young age. In 2013, Stretch was arrested and taken to prison for an unknown crime that he presumably committed for the Chamberlain gangsters. While in prison, Stretch met and became friends with several members of the Ballers.
My just got out crossing lines, did some time with some of your folks.
Stretch as a child with Renata Sidwell, his ex-girlfriend, who posts a message on his Life Invader after his release from prison, saying that he hasn't visited his kid yet. Josh Bernstein is a Los Santos real estate agent living in Rockford Hills, whose company is struggling because of the economic decline and because his license has been revoked due to the actions of his former business partner. Josh was previously married to a woman and had kids, but he would later leave her for another woman who would become his second wife.
Where you know her from? You ain't the pimp type.
Yeah. No, she's my wife. She's my wife. I left my first wife and kids for her. Best decision I ever made.
Trevor first meets him outside of his Rockford Hills mansion, where he asks Trevor to sabotage the for sale signs of his former business partner, Lenny Avery, which are located outside several of Avery's properties.
Lenny Avery. He was my best friend. And now he has taken all of my clients. All of them. Do you think that you could take out all of his for sale signs?
Josh then asks Trevor for one last favor, asking him to burn down his Rockford Hill mansion so that he can claim the insurance.
But, well, if something was to happen to the place, some gas gets spilled, I'd still get the full value in the insurance. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I understand.
Trevor commits the act and tries to meet Josh again. However, Josh has brought the police and he accuses Trevor of being a stalker and burning down his house.
Officers, here he is. This man is insane. He destroyed my house.
Whoa, hey. No, wait a minute. You asked me.
He's ruined my life. He's a stalker. He's an Epsilonist. Yeah, get him!
Ann Quinn is a fitness enthusiast who trains for foot and bicycle races. According to her Life Invader account, Ann is seeing a man named Adam, who she met through a blind date set up by her swimming coach. After 2 progressively worse dates, he is the man that Trevor assaults when he meets Ann, as she stated in her Life Invader that she is meeting up with him.
Oh, I wish you were dead, I really do.
Oh, I love you! Oh, let me take you away from all of this!
Maude Eccles is a character appearing in the bail bond missions. In her youth, Maude wanted to be a cheerleader, and she nearly made it to the top. But then, in her own words, she discovered a burning passion for justice.
Life can be confusing, Trevor. In my youth, I wanted to be a cheerleader, and I nearly made it to the top. But then, I discovered a burning passion for justice.
As of 2013, she lives in a trailer at the end of an unnamed dirt road east of Joshua Road in Blaine County. By 2024, Maude is living with her daughter, Jeanette Eccles, and is in a relationship with Murph, a mortician at the Los Santos County Coroner Office. In the summer of 2024, Maude established the Bottom Dollar Bail Enforcement Agency in southern San Andreas. Nigel is a British tourist in Los Santos who, alongside his friend Mrs. Thornhill, is obsessed with Winewood celebrities and spends his holiday in Los Santos stalking them and stealing some of their possessions to add to Mrs. Thornhill's collection. During the meeting, the couple spot their favorite action star, Aldine Napoli, and ask Trevor to help them to get him to a private interview, which they set up in an abandoned garage. After holding him captive for a few days, Nigel and Mrs. Thornhill decides that they can't keep him locked up anymore since he refuses to eat and they fear he'll starve.
You fucking psycho!
Omega is a paranoid and eccentric hippie who believes in extraterrestrial life and claims that he was visited by the US military. In his spare time, he will be looking for aliens using a special device. Omega says that he saw a spaceship fall from the sky in San Andreas, scattering parts across the state, which Franklin then decides to collect to build the awesome vehicle.
You crazy motherfucker!
Isn't it incredible?
Awesome, dog, but this motherfucker is small.
J.B. Bradshaw is the husband of Tonya, and they both are old friends of Franklin. It is revealed that Franklin's grandfather once caught him and J.B. selling cigarettes, and in Tonya's words, chased them all over South Los Santos.
And you and J.B. was homies before you had hair on your balls.
Yeah, so you keep telling me.
I still remember that time your grandpa caught you and J.B. slinging cigarettes. Chased you all over South LS.
Yeah, man, shit, that was a good hustle while it lasted.
According to Lamar Davis, he and J.B. met when they participated in a freeway. Lamar is embarrassed by this and wishes to keep it private, despite J.B. reminding him about it on his Life Invader. He has a job as a tow truck driver, but his addiction to crack often causes him to slack off on the business. Phil is a character that Franklin helps in the mission, pulling favors again. As his car is about to get destroyed by a train, Tanya sends Franklin to pick up his car from the train tracks as J.B. couldn't make it to work as usual. The Tanner, also known as the Sasquatch Hunter, is a craftsman and wild hunter who claims to have seen a real Sasquatch near Mount Chiliad. The hunter claims that he has been hunting the Sasquatch for 8 years.
A what? A Sasquatch! Man, you believe in that bullshit? I spent 8 years combing these woods. I've seen one hundreds of times. I just never got a clear shot.
Their fear is pointing at the Sasquatch Hunter being a time traveler, as he also appears in Red Dead Redemption, which is supposed to take place a few hundred years before the events of GTA 5. The Sasquatch roleplayer is an unnamed character that Franklin founds near Mount Chiliad. Franklin searches for Bigfoot after being enlisted by the hunter to find him, but it turned out to be fake and a myth.
It's just a fucking mask. Make it stop, human! Man, shut the f up with that bullshit!
This is a reference to the Bigfoot players have claimed to have found in the San Andreas countryside. Willie is the bassist for the Scottish hair metal band Love Fist, which was founded in Vice City and grew quickly in the 80s. Trevor knocks his gold teeth out as a souvenir and brings it to Nigel.
Hey man, no more autographs. Hey, that's okay. I want something more personal.
This is something that he will later post a bleat on after the mission, commenting about Trevor's assault. Elwood O'Neil is a member and leader of the O'Neil brothers, a family of inbreed redneck drug dealers who are rivals with Trevor. Some of his known brothers are Walton, Wynn, Dale and Doyle. The family was raised on a ranch in Grapeseed, Blaine County, which they still use as a home and drug lab. The brothers are involved in selling drugs and cooking it, with Elwood serving as the leader of the brothers. Their lab was destroyed by Trevor because they interrupted his business.
You want to discuss it? We're at the farm. Ernie, Earl, Walton, Wynn, Dale, Doyle, Darrell, Dan, all of us.
Start writing those names on tombstones, cause I'm on the way to your lab.
Abigail Mathers is a character appearing in one of Michael's Strangers That Freaks missions. Little is known about Abigail's life prior to the events of the game. At an unknown point in time, she became the assistant of Frank Mathers, a TV producer and married father of 5. They began an affair in 2009, leading Mathers to walk out on his wife and children and marry Abigail.
Didn't he leave his sick wife and 5 kids to run off with you?
We loved each other.
I'm sure he did.
It's also suggested that Abigail was the one to kill her husband, as she tampered with the airlock so she could get his life insurance.
Looks like Frank tried to scratch a message in with his last dying breath. It says, someone tampered with the airlocks.
How can that be? My poor Frank. It must have been his ex-wife, very bitter woman.
Aaron Ward works at Burger Shot in Vespucci, across the street of the Vespucci police station. Aaron is a good friend of Jimmy and helps him with his spicy and special needs. As of 2024, it's revealed that he still works at Burger Shot. According to Officer Vincent Effenberger, the police officer at the Vespucci police station are aware of Aaron's drug deals across the street, though they have never done anything about it because Aaron pays them to turn a blind eye.
You see that misguided individual? How do you think he's gotten away with selling drugs in front of that Burger Shot very conspicuously for 10 years now? In front of the largest department in the city. He cuts them in.
Albert is an LSPD traffic warden working in Little Portola in Rockford Hills. Albert is on his watch during the jewelry store heist and gets thrown away by Michael. His name is revealed when he's being interviewed on Weasel News about the heist, attracting Trevor's attention.
Albert's story had a lucky escape when the thieves ran straight into it.
Yeah, I was just doing my job, and I say to this guy, hey, you gotta move these bikes.
Ashley Butler was a girlfriend of Johnny Klebitz, but would end up leaving him for Trevor instead. Ashley was born in Actor, Alderney, and knew several of the members of the Lost MC since childhood. After joining the Lost, she became Johnny's girlfriend and also became a drug addict. In early 2013, Trevor met and allied with an unknown hitman. Trevor would frequently send this hitman on missions with the Lost MC with intention of furthering his affair with Ashley. Blake and Freddie Slade are famous producers in Los Santos. They are friends of Tracy DeSanta. Not much is known about their background, except that they work in the corn industry. Tracy even claims that he once filmed a movie in Michael's house. D is one of the Ballers OG. He is a high-ranking and respectable OG member. He previously knew Lamar and had been in his house when he was in diapers.
We going back to your crib? I've been there when you was in diapers. Shut up, man. You ain't recognized me.
D was kidnapped by Lamar as he wanted to blackmail the Ballers for cash. On the way to Lamar's house, Franklin is forced to free D after Lamar uses his cell phone, which alerts the police. D is later met in a drug deal between the families and the Ballers, where he gets shot in the head for setting them up on an ambush. Donald Percival is an ex-Navy SEAL Lieutenant General who founded Meriwether in 2003 using money from a coop in Western Africa. Percival doesn't seem to like Devin Weston as he emails Michael and Trevor after killing Devin, thanking them, and explains that he has bought Devin's shares in the company, which will make him a lot of money. Avi is a professional Jewish hacker who used to work with Lester Crest. He is described by Lester as a very paranoid person.
He's been on the run for years, avoiding people, holed up somewhere in the middle of nowhere.
Avi is also responsible for the heist of the Pacific Standard Bank, as he helps us tune the crew into the bank's frequency.
I don't have the Pacific Standard frequency here. I don't have my tools.
Ain't that convenient?
Esteban Jimenez is a member of the Vagos gang. He is known from the mission Repossession, where Simeon Yetarian tasks Franklin and Lamar to return the bike that he bought from the dealership. This is because he wouldn't meet the payments in time. Eva is the maid of Michael DeSanta and his family. It is implied that Eva is stealing from the family, as she will sometimes say that she will take things home so that she can clean for them. And she even says that she can't clean when people are watching her.
I can't clean when people watching me.
Eva is Hispanic and can sometimes be heard arguing with Amanda in the kitchen because she questions her cleaning. Ferdinand Keramov, also known as Mr. K, lives in Morningwood with his family and works as a home theater technician. His clients include a neighbor of Michael DeSanta and Tahir Javan, a businessman with a house in Chumash. At some point, Tahir and Ferdinand became friends on Life Invader, which would be his biggest mistake, as this is the reason why the IAA and the FIB tracked him down. They needed information about Tahir Javan, who they falsely accused of being an Azerbaijani terrorist. Tahir Javan was born in Azerbaijan and moved to the United States at the age of 13, eventually settling in Chumash just outside Los Santos. Javan became a businessman, making his fortune in the green energy sector, and founded several education institutions, both in the United States and Azerbaijan. However, the IAA and FIB both believe that he is linked to a terrorist organization, so they kill him on sight in his property. Gianni is an Italian-American thug who is the personal bodyguard and right-hand man of Rocco Pelosi, who was a member of the Enchilada crime family in Liberty City until 2008. Rocco is a corrupt Winewood talent agent and promoter who currently operates in Los Santos. The two would frequently use an extortion scam, pursuing famous actors to demand bigger paychecks from their studios in order to halt productions and blackmail studio executives into buying out Rocco. However, the two are beaten up by Michael DeSanta for trying to blackmail Solomon through Milton McIlroy, who appears in their movie Meltdown.
Milton here has a little something he wants to say to you. Say it.
I just want to say that I'm sorry for any misunderstanding, sir. And I appreciate all the opportunities that you've given me.
McIlroy is a Winewood action star who is attempting to transition into more serious roles, but suffers from what Solomon Richards refers to as zero talent.
Loved the movie.
Oh, thank you so much, I appreciate it.
When you were that polar bear and you had to eat your baby, I mean, that was...
Alright, Jesus Christ.
During the shooting of the movie, McIlroy gets into a dispute with Richards and storms off the set, firing his current manager and hiring the corrupt former gangster Rocco to replace him. His reputation has suffered following recent failures and has led to him heavily reduce his actors' fees, which is why Richards hired him to star in his most recent production, Meltdown. Harvey Molina is a janitor at the Sunset Beach cleaning service. Michael DeSanta steals Harvey's uniform and ID to enter the FIB's headquarters. A piece of information on Lester's planning board mentions that Harvey once won a taco eating contest by eating 52 tacos. As of 2024, he is still working for the Sunset Beach cleaning service, but it seems like he has moved out of his apartment, as it now is being used by a former hacker and associate of Jody Marshall. Isaac is an actor who worked for Fred's Pictures. Fred Quincy, the founder of the film studio, wanted Isaac to produce a cartoon film, while Isaac wanted to make a live-action film with Abe Schwartzman for a different studio. Because of this, Quincy killed Isaac in 1947 and hid his body in an abandoned mine. Even though Isaac was killed in 1947, he has barely decomposed, though he is severely dehydrated. Isaac Penny is a venture capitalist who in 2013 planned to take a controlling stake in the Vapid Motor Company and planned to fire a fourth of the workforce so he could buy the stock at an extremely low price. This was something that Lester didn't like, as he saw the chance to gain a lot of money, so he sent Franklin to kill him, telling him that Isaac is a cheap billionaire who takes the same bus every day.
Isaac Penny, ruthless vulture capitalist, about to take a controlling interest in Vapid Motor Company and sell thousands of workers down the river. Penny's one of those tight-fisted billionaires, rides the same bus to and from work every day.
Jackson Skinner was the head of product development at a computer application company called Facade. Through the company, Skinner acquired massive compilations of consumer data and then illegally sold it to companies and government agencies all over the world, making him a multimillionaire. Lester, who is a major shareholder in the rival Fruit Computers, discovered the records of Skinner's illegal transaction and decided to eliminate him in order to make a massive profit in the stock market. Janet, who works as a bartender at the Yellow Yak Inn in Sandy Shores, she is married to Joseph, who works in the Border Patrol. He is a Russian man who she met on the internet and is noticeably younger than her.
He's one. Ban him.
I can't ban him. He's my goddamn husband.
He's young enough to be your son.
Ain't the internet a beautiful thing, honey?
Javier Madrazo is the cousin of Marty Madrazo, one of the most feared cartel leaders in Los Santos. Javier was killed in a plane accident caused by Michael and Trevor. This is because he planned to testify against the cartel. Michael and Trevor recovered the files that were going to be used in court and delivered them to Marty Madrazo. Jay Norris is the founder and CEO of Life Invader. Jay Norris founded Life Invader in his parents' pool house in East Caraway and later made a fortune selling the personal information. He sold billions of users' information to the government and other corporations. Norris was killed by Michael, who planted a bomb in his new prototype, and afterwards the security in the Life Invader offices have also been increased. Jeff Chartier is an Australian friend of Dom Beasley, who works as a helicopter pilot and frequently gives Dom rides so that he can perform the parachute jumps, which Jeff then films and sells on extreme sports websites. Jeff will acknowledge Dom's death and make a post on his Life Invader grieving his friend's death. Joe H. Lawton is the President of the United States in the HD universe of G-Ray. Joe was elected as the President of the United States before 2008, as he was first mentioned in G-Ray 4. Lawton's father, George, has a background in politics as a senator. While much is known about the President, his appearance still remains unknown. John Jock Cranley is a media personality. Cranley was born in 1952 and lived in Blaine County prior to his fame. During the 1970s, Cranley aspired to be a professional stuntman in Los Santos, but his wife Yolene objected to them moving to Los Santos as she wanted to stay in Blaine County. So one day, when the couple went hiking up Mount Gordo, Cranley threw his wife over the side of a cliff, killing her. He was taken into custody by the police, but immediately released without charges. In 2013, he was the main conservative candidate in the upcoming gubernatorial election in the state of San Andreas. His main rival is the liberal candidate Sue Murray. Yolene Cranley is the deceased wife of the politician Jock Cranley. Jock wanted to leave Blaine County to pursue his dreams of becoming a stuntman, but Yolene wanted to stay, saying that she had to look after her parents. Therefore, she was pushed off a cliff at the El Gordo lighthouse, leading to her death. Yolene's ghost can be seen floating on the cliffs of Mount Gordo at night. Kyle Chavis is a tennis coach that uses his job to have sexual intercourse with wealthy men's wives, like Amanda DeSanta. At some point prior to 2013, he was in a relationship with Elisa McCallan. However, she broke up with him after surprising him at work, presumably discovering him engaging sexually with his clients. It is possible that Kyle is racist towards black people, as if spotting Franklin, he will yell that there is a black person in the Santa's house. Lenny Avery is a real estate salesman operating in northern Los Santos, particularly around Vinewood and Rockford Hills. He used to be Josh Bernstein's partner until he betrayed Josh and successfully lobbied to have his real estate license revoked, bankrupting his former business ally. After Josh lost his license, Lenny took over his client list. However, Josh eventually employed Trevor to sabotage Lenny's business. Magenta is a new age sexual guru. She is seen in the opening cutscene of the mission The Long Stretch, guiding a group of feminists led by Denise Clinton. She also has a Blitter account where she posts bleats about the personal service about sex. Ortega is a big face outwards for the Varios Los Aztecas and operates out of a trailer near the banks of the Zancudo River. His power extends throughout Blaine County as he and his gang control the drug and gun trades in Blaine County, working alongside Trevor Phillips Enterprises and the Lost MC. But that wouldn't last that long, as in 2013 Trevor launched a war between himself and the local Lost chapter, after killing their leader Johnny Klebitz, as well as more than a few high-ranking members. Trevor drives to Ortega's trailer and rams his body into it, pushing it into the river. Oscar Guzman was born in Mexico. He began running guns for cartels, eventually doing so on and off in the United States around 2008, as he was facing too much competition in Mexico. In the US, Oscar remained independent and avoided making enemies with the most powerful Mexican gangs by making peace with the Vagos and paying off the Madrazo cartel. Despite this, he competed with the Varios Los Aztecas over the drug trade in Blaine County. He eventually became friends with Trevor and bought guns of him a few times. Rickie Lukens is first encountered in the mission Friend Request, where he unwittingly helps Michael infiltrate the Life Invader office, as he mistakes him for the tech support and asks him to remove pop-ups from his computer. Rickie is fired from Life Invader following Jane Norris' murder. Rickie, who suspected Michael for the death of Jane Norris, calls him on an unknown phone number, threatening him, saying that he will track him down if he doesn't get work.
Yeah, who's this?
It's Rickie from Life Invader. I know you're the bro who deactivated Jay, bro.
I have no idea what you're talking about, pal.
What you do's your business, bro. I need work, and I thought maybe you could provide. I mean, I'm smart enough to track you down, aren't I?
Michael offers him a job as a hacker in the crew, and he can be chosen as a hacker for the heists.